everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it is a very inclement day today here in Dallas. It's been snowing and very unusual for Dallas, but hey, it is what it is. And so here I am, running out of my home studio, which isn't necessarily the greatest. I wish I was at the office, but I can't get there today because the snow is, it's not that thick. I mean, anybody that's lived in, in the back east, it was very used to this, but not. Uh, oh, there we go. All right, let's see if we can get this. For some reason, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're back. We're back. Today was an interesting day. Nice day. Nice movement up in a lot of stocks. It's starting to look maybe like like we might like get some kind of a move. I just wanted to go over some of the charts with you, and go from there. So let's click on over to the charts. Okay, let's get the okay. But yeah, today I'm running out of my home studio, so not quite as good as the uh, the other thing. But anyways, here's a stock that I am planning to purchase. And I want to show you this. It's Microchip Technology. I know that the chips have been doing extremely well, and so there seems to be some very interesting action now. Um, there is a stock, ALGM, that it was it was it reported today, and it reported well. So my take on this whole thing is that I think that we're in a situation where, at least for right now, there seems to be some interest in the chips. So here's what I'm going to be doing. Oh, geez. Okay, there we go. Here's what I'm going to. My connection at home isn't the greatest, so probably going to see a little avatar there. Um, and hopefully we can give you a little bit better view than that. But basically, what's going on here is that we've got this stock, and it does look like it's going to break out. And here's why. Here's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow on this one. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So it does look like it's going to be breaking out. It's got this cup, and it does look like it's going to move higher. Higher. This is Microchip Technology, and MC MCHP. Excuse me. This is Microchip Technology, and I definitely think it's gonna move above. Basically, it's gonna move above that line there. So we'll see. How it trades tomorrow. Let me see if I can get this up here. Yeah, there we go. So let's see if I can get. Oh, in there. Try to come back online now. There we go. For some reason, just it's just screwy. I mean, I don't have enough bandwidth really. I don't really have enough bandwidth. So that's some of the issues are from that. But in my home studio, I just don't have that. See if I can pull the taskbar away. Oh boy. See if I can maybe move that. Yeah, it's not letting me. Come on, it's not letting me. Okay. So anyways, I want to show you this chart. MCHP. I'm going to be buying it as it moves higher tomorrow, and I definitely think it is. And here's part of the reason why I'm looking at this one possibly to move higher. And that is, we've had a huge volume spike. Now, earnings are in 2 days on this one, so who knows what's gonna happen, but, uh, looking at the weekly chart, and this is really the key here, looking at this weekly chart, we have a situation where it does look like it is getting ready to pop and pop higher. Um, if we look at this, we see that it's bouncing off of this 200 off the 40-day line. We've had what they call the golden cross, and this is when the 10-week line moves above that 40-week line. That's showing strength. Of course, it came up. There was some resistance here at about 89, about 80, excuse me, pulled back almost down to the 10-week line, and then it's moving back up. Here's one of the things I want to point out here in this particular stock. On the technicals, you'll notice it's less than 5% above that 10-week line. So I'm confident that it can be bought there. Also, it's got a 100% checklist, and this is something that I think is really kind of important because right now we're starting to see some strength in we're starting to see a strength once again in the chip stocks. Now, here's a stock I want to show you also. Let's see if I can pull it back. There we go. Here's another stock that I want to show you that I did buy as well, and that is PI. Let's take a look at it. PI. And let's take a look to see. This is done very, very well. This is now I don't understand. I came across this one because I was looking in the chips for strength. That seems to be where the rotation is going out of the. Now I did sell. Just so you know, I did sell my position in Exxon on earnings. Did pretty well on that, and I replaced it with a position in Chevron. I'm just kind of moving them back and forth. I still think there's a lot of strength in the big cap oils, but that's sort of where I'm going there. I'm pivoting over I'm pivoting over to the chips. That seems to be where the strength in the market is. And if you'll notice, this one also, this is called, let's see if we can get that up there for everyone so you can see this. This is called Impinji. Impinji, I guess that's the name of it. Kind of hard to pronounce there, at least for me. Provides radio frequency identification for identifying and locating and authenticating ions. This is the Internet of Things, and it just seems like there's a lot of action in this area, and it just seems like there's a lot of movement into this area. One of the things I'm seeing here, if you'll notice, it was up after hours, and I do think we're going to see a lot of strength there as well. Looking at the volume here, and I think you've got to really look at the. Oh, come on, you got to look at the volume. Let's see if it'll let me. Come on. Doesn't want to do it. I can do the mic, so that does work. I can at least show you the mic, and I could show you my face on TikTok. That always works. It's funny. Um, that always works, but the other one not so much. So I'm having issues again with the camera. Sorry about that, but I could show the charts, and that's really what's needed. This one, I think you definitely want to take a look at. The symbol on this one is PI. I do think we're going to see some real strength in this area. I really think there's going to be a lot of strength in this area of the market, and it's pulled back and it's moving very nicely. Now, one of the things, let's look at the bigger chart here. 98 relative strength on this one. It's got a very, very good checklist, 89% on that checklist. And you'll notice it is a little bit high above that 10-week line. But if we go over here to the daily chart, and I did buy this one. I'm not buying this one now. I did buy this one a few days ago, and I started buying this last week. And it's done pretty darn well. Let's see if I can get that There we go. So you can see it. We're bouncing right up the 21-day line. There's been some nice volume coming in to into it, but I don't think you're still too late on this one. So just FYI. All right, let's take some questions. Sorry about that. Sorry about my technical difficulties. My home internet just doesn't have the throughput that I wish I had. So let's look at 3M, MMM. This is for Troy. And let's see if we can come up with something here. Um, there we go. 3M Company. And it does look like, I probably would not be a buyer of 3M for a lot of reasons, but let's take a look at the chart here and see. Definitely, it's got a relative strength of 15. I just don't think you want to be buying stocks below that 200-day line. I just don't think you need to be there because there's so many other stocks that are strong. And right now, the strength seems to be in the semiconductors. So that's kind of where I think you've got to kind of look to see. I think that's where you got to look to see um, this. That's where I think you've got to see the strength. And so right now, I would not, even though we had a very nice pop here, was up 2.2%, which is tremendous. But I still think I think it's dangerous buying it below that 200-day line. And so I probably would not be a buyer here, even though their earnings were off a little bit. I just probably wouldn't be a buyer on this one. There we go. Okay, I'm back. So I just don't think I would be a buyer on this one just because of its chart. I don't think it's a great chart. I still think it's in a downward trend. And so I would not be, even though they did have a pop today, wouldn't be probably a buyer here. All right, let's look at Chewy. This is one, this might come back, CHUY. Let's take a look here real quick. Chewy's Holdings, and this is I guess, no, is this the Mexican restaurant? Or, I'm sorry, I don't know if that's the Mexican restaurant or not. CHEWY. Okay. Okay. Well, there's Chewy's and those Chewy's. So Chewy's Holding. I'm very familiar with this. This is a Mexican restaurant chain. It's a good chain, by the way. I've eaten there before. This one is actually looking fairly decent, and it's moving above the $34 level, and it's definitely forming a handle here. So here's what you need to do if you want to buy this one. You need to wait until it moves above that handle. So right now it's 94, which is for restaurant is excellent. And we have very good technicals. We're 23. We're right about at the 21-day moving average, $32. So that's where you probably want to buy it. If you want to buy it, you want to buy it within that range. It's got a weak checklist, so I probably would not buy Chewy's restaurants just because of that. But it's set up very nicely and definitely coming in with a cup with handle. But right now, probably would not be uh, not be there. Your stocks are too expensive. Well, that's a good question. Yeah, you're right about that. But here's the thing about that. I think that you're going to benefit from a little bit better quality merchandise. We're still not in that penny stock mode. And so I definitely am a little bit more careful. Now, another one that I have, LSCC. Let's look at that one really quickly. I've bought that one, and that one is doing very well. This is also in the chip sector. It's also in the chip space. It was up strongly today on a little bit less volume. You can see where I bought it, and then I started buying it here. I actually did two buys on here. I only have about 100 shares, but I did sell an option against it. This one's looking pretty good. It's cup with handle, and then this is the handle that's coming back. This is likely to move higher. This is likely to move higher just based on its chart. Also, if you look at this one, this is LSCC. In terms of the semiconductor area, this is one of the two best ones. It's got a 100% checklist, and even though we have a low rating in terms of of this one, in terms of the sector, the semiconductor sector, fabless, this is doing very well. The stock is doing very well. Let's look at the weekly chart here. Excuse me. And that's showing us basically kind of where we're at here. This is what you want to see in a stock. You want to see a stock that even in a bad market can has pricing power. Here's what's happening with Lattice Semiconductor. You notice that last quarter it was up 31%. This is the earnings per share. Look at this. Every quarter they're over 20%. That's a good thing. Also, in looking at the overall sales, they're up 71%. Now, Lattice is going to be announcing in 13 days. I suspect they're going to have a very good report based on the fact that there has been a shortage in this area for programmable logic devices, and they're a leader in this area. Their EPS growth rate. Look at this. And I just want to show you this. 60%. This is what you want to see. Now, it does have a relatively high PE ratio of 46. Now, I'm going over the fundamentals here, but the return on equity is 38% and the cash flow is strong. So even in a bad market, this is doing very, very well. The question is, what are the competitors? And as you can see, part of the reason I'm moving in to some of these other ones is that this is how I found the competitors. If you look here, PI, Impinj, that's a competitor. That's actually stronger. I own this one as well. And I'm looking at Rambus. I don't own Rambus currently. Mobileye, I would buy Mobileye here. This was a spinoff from this was a spinoff from Intel. I would buy Mobileye, but the problem with Mobileye is there's just not enough history on it. So let's take a look at just quickly at Mobileye. I've been watching this one. This has been on the watch list. MBLY. And let's take a look. Mobileye. Here's the issue with Mobileye, and we're looking at the daily chart. This is an IPO, even though it's really a spinoff. This is a spinoff, and it is starting to form. This is when you're buying a new issue. This is what you want to do. You don't want to buy it right out of the gate. You want to let it go up to its peak, pull back, and then make a new higher high. And that's really where you want to buy it. So this is setting up very, very nicely. Mobileye. This is for self-driving cars. I definitely think that this has a future. Very strong, very strong buying here. Now the question is, can we, and this one also has a 100% checklist. I want to show you this 100% checklist here. So the pattern recognition is good. It doesn't currently have a pattern. Why? Because it's a brand new issue. This was a spinoff. So here's the thing you want to look at when you are looking at stocks. You want to stay, right now, I definitely think there's a turn in the market. I definitely think there's a turn in the market, but we've got to be kind of careful because, the stocks are, it's still not a great market. All right, Paulie, thank you very much. NCLH, let's look at that really quickly. NCLH. And see if there's anything we could buy there. Norwegian Cruise Line, not a favorite of mine. I'll be honest with you. Not that I don't like cruising. I think it's great, but I just don't think it's the right time for cruise lines. I really don't. I think that people in the economy right now, the middle class is broke right now, and this stock, I mean, it's cheap, but there's usually stocks are cheap for a reason. And this one has a downward trend. So I would not be a buyer of it. Now, it is right on the 200-day line, which is a good thing. And it did move up a little bit today. And the checklist is getting better. The checklist is a 67 here, but I just wouldn't buy in this sector. This sector it's too dependent. They're losing too much money. I just wouldn't be here. And let's go over here to the weekly chart, because remember, buying stocks it's a combination of both technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Now, I'm going to do the fundamental analysis on a Norwegian Cruise Lines. Now, obviously, you would think, gosh, it's doing great. their sales are up 995%, but they're still losing money. I don't like that. Okay, I don't like buying stocks unless it's like a biotech or something where I know that I have a fairly good chance. I don't like buying stocks that are in a losing situation. Their cash flow is negative. It's $5.25. So I just would not be interested in this one just because, you got to go where the strength is in the market. And right now, I'm seeing strength in the mega cap oil companies, and I'm also seeing it in the chips. Let's look at the chips. I want to compare several of the chip companies here really quickly, just to kind of get an idea. Now, this is one that I did buy, PI, and let's see if we can come up here. And I'm going to compare this to several chip companies. Now, by the way, all chip companies are not created equal. Okay, they just aren't. Uh, Intel is in difficulty. Nvidia is not doing well, but some of these smaller chip companies are doing very, very well. Okay, this is the chart here for this is the chart here um, for PI Impinj. That's, I guess, the name. That's how you pronounce it. I'm not really good at those pronouncing that. Let's see if I can get that so you can see it. Oh goodness, come on. Oh, maybe I can get some more um, height here. This is Impinj. And there we go. Okay, so let's take a look at this one, and then let's compare it. And I'm going to get that up for everyone here on the other one. So bear with me as I change the view here, and I'm going to compare some. I'm going to compare some. I'm going to compare some semiconductor stocks that I own. And so first of all, I'm going to put up PI here. This is Impinj. Oops. Impinj. Then I'm going to compare that against Lattice Semiconductor, LSCC, and Microchip Technologies, CHP. These are the three that I'm really tracking right now. Now, I own all of these right now. Golly. I own all of these right now. As you can see, PI is the one you want to be in. Looking at it now, that's for the last year, but let's look in the last. Let's just look since October of last year. Kind of get an idea. Okay, there we go. Great. So all of these MCHP, in which I do think is going to, I'm going to try to buy this one tomorrow. I don't own this one, but I'm going to try to buy this one tomorrow. I own Lattice, and I've done very well with Lattice, and I also own PI. So these are the two thoroughbreds when it comes to when it comes to the chip sector. I do want to own also MCHP because I definitely think it's starting to make a move. So these are the three stocks that I think that you could definitely do very, very well on. Let's see if I can change that to a shorter time frame so you can see it. Now with this is a little bit better. This is basically the last 5 quarters. MCHP, it's definitely moving up, no question. And then PI, but PI is really the one that we want to get. Now the problem with PI is I believe it's extended. Let's just take a look again to see if it's extended. See if we can get a buy point on this one, because I definitely think this one is going to be, yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. This one was up. This is up strongly after hours. Okay, this is up strongly after hours. I definitely think this is a handle. You can see the cup, and then there's a handle. So this is definitely moving higher. This one it's not a 100% checklist, but it's an 89% checklist. So this one, it definitely is going higher. So this is one you might want to take a look at. Symbol on this one is PI, and just want to show you the chart. It's a very good chart. Oops. See if I can move back to the correct chart here. Sorry, this is not the best show today. So this one, this is the kind of thing you want to get an Impinj. definitely showing a lot of strength. Here's what I'm looking for coming out of this. Coming out of this this downturn. Now we're in a little bit of a bounce here. Now, how long this is going to last, I don't know, but I want to be in the stocks that are the very strongest. And right now, it's the semiconductor fabless area. Now, even though it's 137 out of 197, part of the reason this is dragging down so much is because Nvidia and the other stocks are doing so much poorer than this. But this particular stock is doing very well. Also, another one that I want to show you is called ST Micro. STM, this is a Swiss company. And I'm very interested in this one because I definitely it's showing some very, very nice action. See if I can. Um, Let me see if I can show that. Good question. Thank you, Ma. Are we in a confirmed bull market? Well, we're still in a downward trend overall, but we there is a bounce going on. There is a bounce going on. So we want to take advantage of this because we don't get that much, we don't get that many opportunities. Now, where I'm seeing the strength in the market is in semiconductors and in big oil. Those are the two areas that I think are the strongest. Um, Chevron just reported a few days ago, and it blew out its earnings. I sold my positions in Exxon. I had ExxonMobil. They reported today, and it was very strong. It was a very strong showing. I sold basically into power, and then basically, oops, I sold it into power, and then basically have taken a position. Um, I've taken the position I've taken now is in Chevron because Chevron immediately. Here's one of the things that you can do sometimes when something is really strong, and they report a excellent number. You can buy it, and then as it pulls back, that's where you kind of want to take a look at. Now let's look at the oils just really quickly. I know that I'm going very quick here, but I want to show you the oils, and I still think that there's some power in the oils. And where I want to show you that is with I want to compare the two largest of the I want to compare the two largest of the oil companies, and that's Chevron and then uh, Exxon. Oh, wait a minute, I may get my camera back. That would be awesome.